Welcome to the deep dive. Today, we're really plunging headfirst into a story that, well, it's got all the hallmarks of a modern sports drama, doesn't it?
Oh, absolutely.
Huge money, social media intrigue, and a bona fide star player right at the center. We're talking, of course, about NFL linebacker Micah Parsons and his, let's say, increasingly public contract standoff with the Dallas Cowboys.
The legendary Cowboys, yeah.
Right. So our mission today is to really unpack this, get into the key elements, try to understand Parsons' perspective, where he's coming from and the Cowboys' position too, and critically figure out what this all could mean for the future of, well, one of the NFL's biggest stars, not just for him maybe, but for player power across the league.
And what's truly fascinating here, I think, is how these negotiations are playing out. They're not just behind closed doors anymore, are they?
Not at all.
It's increasingly a public spectacle.
Yeah.
And like you said, it's not just about the money, though. That's obviously huge. It's this really intricate dance of leverage, loyalty, and this very public performance of a relationship under strain.
Yeah, performance is a good word for it.
We're seeing these really complex dynamics playing out in real time. It's kind of a rare look behind the curtain for all of us, really.
Okay, so let's unpack it then, maybe start at the beginning. Because the first major public sign of trouble came straight from Micah Parsons' social media.
Right.
Specifically his X bio, formerly Twitter. He just removed any mention of the Dallas Cowboys.
Yes.
Completely
Just gone.
And that move felt incredibly swift, very direct. So what's the deal there? Why is a social media bio change such, a significant signal in these kinds of disputes?
That's a great question because it really highlights how social media has become, well, a primary battlefield, if you like, in these contract disputes.
Yeah.
A change in a bio, it seems minor.
Right.
Just a few words deleted. But it can be a profoundly powerful signal. It's often that first public move.
First shot fired.
Kind of, yeah.
Yeah.
A subtle, maybe, but undeniable message that the relationship is under significant pressure. And it's deliberately moving things beyond just those private discussions.
Yeah.
For Parsons, it clearly signifies a shift in his public alignment. It definitely suggests, growing frustration.
Yeah.
It's a way for a player to control their own narrative, even slightly, sending a clear message to the team, the fans, potential suitors, all without saying a single word, publicly, officially. It's a calculated move, really.
Yeah.
Demonstrates dissatisfaction, maybe tries to speed things up or force the team's hand.
And what a message it sent, because, right after that social media change, the next bombshell was the reported contract figure Parsons is after.
The big one.
The big one.
Yeah.
So just for context, Parsons, he's 26, right? And he's reportedly seeking a deal worth a staggering, wait for it, $200 million.
$200 million. It's wow. What makes a deal like $200 million for a linebacker so, well, staggering in today's NFL?
Well, economically, yeah, a $200 million contract for a linebacker is truly exceptional. Historically, you just didn't see those numbers outside of, elite franchise quarterbacks.
Right. QBs get the big bucks.
Really. Or maybe a truly generational pass rusher, top wide receiver. But for a linebacker, even one as dominant as Parsons, it reflects his perceived status as one of the league's absolute generational stars, a player who sort of transcends his position.
Okay.
So this isn't just a big number. It signifies a potentially massive shift in how teams are starting to value elite defensive talent. The league's so pass-heavy now, right?
Yeah.
A guy who can consistently pressure the quarterback, cover ground, just disrupt offenses like Parsons does, he becomes almost indispensable. So it forces us to think about the evolving economics, what teams are willing to pay for talent they think can genuinely transform a franchise.
And the cap implications must be huge, too.
Oh, absolutely. A deal like that, it has significant implications for the team's salary cap.
Mm.
It would likely force the Cowboys or any team to make really difficult decisions on other key players.
Right.
Maybe restructure existing deals just to fit it in. It's not just the money itself, it's how it reshapes the entire roster strategy. And it could reset the market for other top defensive guys across the league.
Yeah.
And it's worth noting, as reports suggest, General Manager Jerry Jones has so far been reluctant to stump up the cash. So the Cowboys are clearly weighing these massive financial and strategic implications very, very carefully.
Okay, so the $200 million figure, obviously it grabs the headlines. But digging a bit deeper, it seems like Parsons' frustration, it runs way beyond just the money.
It often does.
He's made some very clear, very personal statements about wanting to leave, outlining these grievances that go well beyond just the contract value.
Yeah.
He actually said, and I'm quoting him here, "Yes, I wanted to be here." I did everything I could to show that I wanted to be a Cowboy and wear the star on my helmet. I wanted to play in front of the best fans in sports and make this America's team once again. The team my pops and I grew up cheering for way up in Harrisburg, PA. Unfortunately, I no longer want to be here.
That's incredibly direct.
It is. And then he went on with specific complaints. Things like, I no longer want to be held to closed-door negotiations without my agent present.
Okay, that's a big one.
Or, I no longer want shots taken at me for getting injured while laying it on the line for the organization, our fans, and my teammates. And this one feels really telling. I no longer want narratives created and spread to the media about me. And he finished by saying, I had purposely stayed quiet in hopes of getting something done. I mean, these are incredibly strong words. What do these specific points tell us about the breakdown here?
Yeah, they reveal a profound breakdown. It's not just disagreement. It's, like you said, trust and communication, which honestly can be far more damaging than just arguing over dollars.
Right.
When a player says explicitly they no longer want to be held to closed-door negotiations without my agent present, that points to a feeling that a critical professional standard has been violated.
Okay.
The agent's job is to protect the player, provide expertise, ensure fairness, excluding them. It can make a player feel vulnerable, disrespected, maybe like they're being pressured or, taken advantage of. It's fundamental to player representation.
Sure.
Then the shots taken at me for getting injured. That speaks to a deeper emotional toll. Suggests a feeling of being targeted or misunderstood when he's literally putting his body on the line.
Yeah, that sounds awful.
It can be incredibly alienating. And the narratives created and spread to the media bit, that really underscores how vulnerable players feel to media manipulation. Teams sometimes use leaks strategically.
To shape public opinion.
Exactly.
Yeah.
Especially during contract disputes. Parsons is clearly saying he feels those narratives have hurt his image or his bargaining position. So it's not just the money, you're right. It's feeling respected, protected, properly represented. It feels like a genuine sense of being wronged emotionally and professionally, not just financially.
It really does sound almost like a bad breakup note, doesn't it?
It has that kind of personal sting, yeah.
But seriously, these issues, trust, narratives, they're much harder to fix than just writing a bigger check.
Absolutely. Money doesn't fix broken trust.
And adding another layer to this very public drama, Parsons also posted a specific Old Testament Bible verse on X, Micah 7.8.
Okay. It reads, "Even if I fall, I will rise. The Lord is my light." Now, this doesn't feel random.
Right.
It seems incredibly intentional, connecting to his whole stance here. How does a personal declaration like that resonate in the pretty ruthless world of pro sports?
It resonates powerfully, I think. It comes across as a message of personal strength, resolve, especially amidst a tough situation. In this high-pressure environment where everything you do is scrutinized, these personal statements can be really telling about a player's mindset, their determination.
Right.
Posting a verse like Micah 7.8 implies this deep belief in overcoming adversity,
Right.
a kind of spiritual resilience. It suggests he's prepared for a fight, regardless of the current fall or setback with the Cowboys. It's a declaration of self-belief, a refusal to be broken.
Yeah.
For fans, it can be seen as commitment to himself, his principles, maybe bolsters his image. For the team, it's another signal maybe of his unwavering resolve.
Yeah.
It says, I might be down, but I'm not out, and I believe in my path. Okay. So with this growing distance, this public airing of grievances, trade rumors are obviously swirling.
Naturally.
And NFL Network insider Ian Rappaport even suggested a potential landing spot that's, controversial for Cowboys fans, the Green Bay Packers.
Oof, yeah. That would sting in Dallas.
Seeing one of their generational talents go to another NFC rival.
Yeah.
So what makes the Packers such a compelling, if controversial, destination in Rappaport's view?
Well, the key question is,
What?
why Green Bay?
Yeah.
And Rappaport laid out a pretty clear strategic case.
Okay.
He noted they have paid Jordan Love, their quarterback. They have a bunch of really good young players. They have money to spend, and they are really good.
Right.
They need one final piece, and this guy Parsons is an absolute dog. He's worth all the money, so pay him all the money.
Pretty direct.
Very direct. And it highlights several key things. First, the Packers seemingly have the cap space or are willing to create it, which is crucial for a $200 million deal. Second, they've built this strong young core around Love, suggesting they're on an upward path. Third, they might just see that need for a final piece, a truly dominant defensive force to elevate them from competitive to, legitimate Super Bowl contender.
And Parsons fits that bill.
Exactly. Yeah. He's that type of player. So for the Packers, it's a chance to potentially lock in their future. For the Cowboys, it would be, well, catastrophic, losing not just a Defensive Player of the Year candidate, but losing him to a direct conference rival.
Yeah.
A move like that would be monumental for both teams, instantly changing the defensive landscape, potentially shifting the power balance in the NFC for years. It just shows how fast these things can escalate from a dispute to a game-changing trade rumor.
So, wrapping this up a bit, what does this all mean for Micah Parsons, for the Cowboys, maybe even for the whole NFL? We've seen a star player use his public platform, his leverage, to demand not just money, but respect, control over his narrative, proper representation. It feels like more than just an athlete wanting to get paid. It's this very public declaration of his total value on and off the field. We've gone from that subtle bio change to the huge contract demand, his deep personal grievances, and now, real trade talk.
In this situation, it really highlights a fundamental tension in modern sports, doesn't it? The individual player's agency versus the team's sort of institutional control.
Yeah.
It seriously challenges that traditional team-first mentality. When a player feels genuinely wronged or undervalued, not just financially, but, as we discussed, emotionally and professionally too.
Mm-hmm.
And it's crucial to understand, these public displays, they aren't usually just emotional outbursts. They're often calculated moves. Strategic, yeah. To shift public opinion, put pressure on the team, maybe force a quicker resolution, or even force that trade. So this isn't just about one contract. It's really a window into the evolving dynamics of power and communication in pro sports, where those lines between private talks and public discourse are getting blurrier all the time.
Yep.
It forces you to ask, how much control does a team really have over its stars when those stars have direct access to millions of fans through social media?
Which leaves us with a really thought-provoking question, I think, for the future of sports. As social media becomes even more integrated, even more powerful in these player-team relationships, will these kinds of public standoffs, these, calculated declarations of discontent, are they just going to become the new norm?
It seems possible, doesn't it?
And if they do, how will teams adapt? How do you manage the expectations, the frustrations, the very public narratives of your star players when the negotiations spill out of the boardroom and right onto our feeds for everyone to see, interpret, and react to?
That's the multi-million-dollar question, isn't it? How do teams navigate this new landscape?
Definitely something for you, the listener, to consider as this high-stakes story keeps unfolding. It could really reshape how future athletes navigate their careers.